This video is to teach the supplementary characters for Lesson 10 from the Ni Hao Chinese textbook. These are the characters for face. Now, the textbook doesn't require that you be able to write these characters, but it does expect you to be able to recognize some of these characters. And there's a lot of useful radicals in this lesson, so let's go over them. First, we already learned the I radical, mu. Back when we were learning radicals, the I radical started out looking like an I, and then all characters got turned on their side, which is why the character now looks like a sideways I, and also characters got squarified. Now you won't have to practice this one because we've already learned it. It's just a quick review. That's the I radical. Next is the nose radical, which looks like the I radical with an extra dot on top. Now this is also the radical for myself, because when Chinese people say myself, they don't thump their chest like a Westerner, they point to their nose, because the nose is where you breathe in, and that's the source of life, air, and so that's how you say self. And so this has two meanings, nose and self. The next radical is the Mao radical, which means fur. And we see that in the character Mei Mao, eyebrows, because those aren't like hair. 头发, which has a different character. Mao is just for short hair, like the hair under your armpits or other body hair. It's also fur for animals. It's also a common surname. It was the character for Chairman Mao, the founder of modern China. R means ear. R, part of 耳朵. It's the radical for ear. We'll see that in lots of characters, like we saw in 最, most, 最喜欢, most like. R, and originally it looked like an ear. The next radical is arrow, 诗. And you can see how originally it looked like an arrow, and gradually over time it stopped looking like an arrow. The next radical is 豆, beans. You'll see this if you order bubble tea with beans. It's the first character in tofu, and it's a picture of beans in a tripod bowl, so you really can't see the beans in the picture. Back when characters were being invented, these tripod bowls were really common, bowls with 3 legs. And so that's what the picture is trying to convey. The last radical is qing, which means blue or green. Most cultures don't distinguish blue or green until very late in their development, and Chinese is no exception. Now this artist has combined green as in the traffic light, because the top part has these 3 sections, so they conceptualize as a traffic light, and then the moon, because the moon radical is in the blue-green character. The first character you have to trace is yan, eyes. Be careful when you say yan, yanjing. A lot of people read it yan because it's spelled with an A. But remember, after a Y or an I in pinyin, A becomes an E sound, yan. So it sounds like Japanese yen, yanjing. And notice the character is a combination of the I radical and the shape we've seen before in hun. The next character is jing, which also means eyes. We say yan, jing for eyes. And it combines again the I radical and then the jing, the blue-green character. Now this isn't because eyes are blue-green, although some Chinese people do have naturally blue eyes. And these aren't mixed race people. These are just naturally blue-eyed Chinese. It does happen. But this character is because of the sound. Qing rhymes with jing, yan, jing. The next characters you have to trace are bi, zi for nose, just the bi because we know zi. Bi has the nose radical and then a feared radical and then this shape. If you can make this look like a nose on someone's face, I'll give you a bonus point. The next characters you have to trace are 耳朵 for ears, 头 for head, and this one kind of looks like a person with long hair in the back, and 眉毛 for eyebrows. And here you have the person's eye, and then what looks like the eyebrow over their head, and they've got some crazy cat eye mascara mistake drifting down their side of their face. The last 2 characters you have to trace are 短, short, and 长, long. 短, short, combines the word arrow, which is shorter than a person, so I suppose it is short, and the bean radical. Now this is because bean is pronounced 豆, and it sounds close to 短. But you can think of it in terms of length. Beans, like Jack and the Beanstalk, has to do with length, although that might confuse with long. And the last character you have to trace is Chang, long, which is a picture originally of hair tied up in a fancy way because hair is always long. Um, and now it's really hard to see it, so it kind of looks like a K that's been bisected.